Okay, welcome back. Instead of me just showing you the answers, I'm actually going to work through all three of these because I think that would be a lot more helpful. So let's go ahead and work through number 4. So number 4 says x squared minus 6x is equal to 27. Okay, so remember my first step is I need to get rid of the c value. So if I'm getting rid of the c value, I look and I see that there is no c value, which means I'm already done with step number 1. So the next step is to complete the square. So I'm going to take the negative 6, divide by 2, and square it. So I end up with negative 3 squared, which negative 3 squared makes 9. So now I need to add this 9 to both sides. Okay, this is my new c value. Add 9 to both sides. We get x squared minus 6x plus 9 is equal to 36. And this is starting to look really familiar to the last one. We already know what this is. Okay, so let's do the next thing. Now I'm going to factor this, okay? So this is factoring here. So if I factor this, I'm asking what adds to make negative 6 but multiplies to make 9. And the answer, and honestly, you should notice a pattern here, that this number is always going to be what you fill in right here. So this number, in fact, once we write this down, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that, okay? So if you wanted to highlight that, you could, but something to notice here is that this number that you end up with, the step before you get your answer to what completing the square is what you end up putting as your factors for the next step, okay? Now this is important because we get identical. So if they're identical, we can change it to x minus 3 squared instead. And then now I'm taking the square root of both sides. So take the square root. That cancels out right here, giving me x minus 3 is either equal to negative 6 or x minus 3 is equal to positive 6. Add 3 to both sides, and you get x is equal to negative 3 or x is equal to 9. Okay, that's the answer to number 4. Let's move on to number 5. Number 5 says x squared plus 12x plus 3 equals 1. Okay, this time we are going to want to do our method here. We're going to want to subtract away the c value. So get rid of the 3, giving me x squared plus 12x is equal to negative 2. It's okay that you have a negative right now. It's when we go to take the square root, we don't want to have a negative anymore. So let's see what happens when we add in the this new c value. So we're going to complete the square. It gives me 6 squared equals 36. Okay. Add 36 to both sides. Now when I add 36 to both sides, I get x squared plus 12x plus 36 is equal to 34. Okay, notice I didn't get it. I have a positive number now, so we're good. We're in the clear. Now we're going to factor this. And remember that your factor is just going to be whatever you were squaring from the perfect square. So I know it's just going to be x plus 6. And instead of writing both of them this time, I'm going to start skipping this step, and I'm going to go straight to squared. Okay? Take the square root. Take the square root. This is now x plus 6 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 34, because we cannot take the square root of 34, so we have to leave it the same. Remember that from yesterday. Minus 6, we get x is equal to negative 6 plus or minus square root of 34, and guess what? That's the final answer. Just like that. Okay? So that's number 5. Let's do number 6 now. Remember, we can pause the video at any time. I'm just going straight through it. Okay, number 6. We've got 2x squared plus 4x plus 10 equals 58. Okay, so now you might be confused because you might be asking, wait, how do I do this if I have a number out in front here? Well, there's actually a secret first step that I didn't tell you. Step 0, we'll say, which is you don't want to have an a value in front. You want this to be clear. You want there to be a 1 here, basically. So what we have to do is we actually have to, our new first step is actually to divide away the a value. Okay, so that's our new first step, or step 0, we'll call it. Step 0 says to divide a value away. Okay, that's our new step 0. Okay, we're going to pretend like I just, didn't forget to tell you about that part. So now this is 29. Right now you guys are trying to come in, so I might have to pause this video. So we're going to subtract 5. Okay, Isaac just left, so we're good. Plus 2x equals 24. Now we got to complete the square. So 2 divided by 2 squared equals 1 squared, which is 1. Add that to both sides. X squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 25. I'm kind of rushing so I can teach you guys here in a second. X plus 1 squared. Remember, we're just taking this number right here, and that's going to go right here now. Equals 25. Square root x plus 1 is either equal to -5 or x plus 1 is equal to +5. -1, -1, -1, -1. X is equal to -6 or x is equal to 4. Okay? So those are the answers there. All right, here's your homework. Your homework is pages, let's see. Should I give you guys a lot of homework? What do you think? Well, since I can't hear your answer, I'm just going to give you a lot of homework. So let's just do page, we're actually just going to do one page. So sorry about that. This is page 472, numbers. Let's do, actually I kind of want to give you a lot so we can work on this when I get back on Monday. Sorry, this is going to be a lot of work, but it's good for you because you need to practice this one a lot. So if you need answers from the book, you can come and check the answer key at any point, but I want you guys to work on this for the rest of the class period and have this done and ready to go on Monday, and we'll check the answers then. All right, see you guys on Monday.